All right, welcome to the first meeting of the Sutter Local Agency Formation Commission. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can we have roll call, please?
Vice Chair Baumgarten.
Here.
Commissioner Cochran.
Present.
Commissioner Elphick. Commissioner Munger. Commissioner Wooten.
Here.
Commissioner Ziegenmeier.
Here.
Commissioner Baines.
Present.
And Commissioner Cardoza.
Present.
All right, please stand and we'll have Mr. Cochran lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I have one proposed amendment to the agenda for the commission to approve. I'd like to move number 3, approval of the agenda, up to number 2 and have number 2 be number 3. Is anybody opposed to that?
No.
All right. So let's.
You actually need a motion to do that, or is it okay?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
We're good. We don't even need a motion to do it. All right. Election of the chair and the vice chair for calendar year 2025. We need to elect a chairperson for 2025. With that,
I make a motion to move Mark Baumgartner to chair. She's already been.
I second that.
okay, we have a motion. I accept the nomination. Any other nominations? All right. With that being said, we will need to take a vote. So can we have a roll call vote, please? Yes. Hi, Anita. Happy New Year. No worries.
So for the record, we'll let it show that Commissioner Elphick arrived at 2:04.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes, no?
Yes. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was asleep at the wheel.
Commissioner Elphick.
May I ask what we're voting on?
Yes, here, yeah. So we are on item number, the item dealing with the election of a chair and a vice chair. I was nominated and seconded to be the chair, and that's what we're voting on right now.
Aye.
Commissioner Wooten.
Yes.
Commissioner Ziegenmeier.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Baumgarten.
Yes.
And Commissioner Baines.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Second up is an election for the vice chair. Entertaining nominations for that.
I'd like to nominate Don Cochran as vice chair.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Wooten and a second by Commissioner Ziegenmeier for Mr. Cochran. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Baines.
Aye.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Elphick.
Aye.
Commissioner Wooten.
Yes.
Commissioner Ziegenmeier.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Baumgarten, or Chair. Going Chair, okay.
Both of those work, yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. With that piece of business done, we'll go to the minutes. Recommendation for the approval of the September 12th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Approve to approve.
Okay. Need a second?
Second.
Have a motion to approve the minutes by Commissioner Elphick and a second by Vice Chair Cochran. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, okay, we have one abstention, Commissioner Ziegenmeier.
I'll abstain. I wasn't present at the meeting.
We'll have 2 abstentions. Motion passes. We'll move on to item number 6, business items, item number 5, public comment. Members of the public, well, we do have members. are invited to address the commission on any matter of interest to the public that is not on the agenda for a period of time not to exceed 5 minutes. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the commission cannot take any action on items not listed on the posted agenda, but may add to a future agenda matters brought up under public comments for appropriate action at a future meeting. Public comment? Not seeing any. Item number 6, consideration to amend section 6.4C of the Commission's adopted policy, standards, and procedures, indemnification for consistency with Government Code Section 56383.5. Mr. Libby.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as you noted, this item deals with indemnification. So basically, when LAFCOs receive a proposal, traditionally applicants are required to sign an agreement that basically indemnifies or holds LAFCO harmless for the decisions that can arise from that decision, and basically covers LAFCO's legal expenses should there be any legal action after a decision is made. And that's been traditional for all 58 LAFCOs across the state. However, there was a Second District Court of Appeals case decided in May of 2022 that concluded that LAFCOs did not have any statutory authority to include indemnification. And that alarmed LAFCOs in 2022. And so as a result, our association, Cal-LAFCO, went to work and they lobbied for a statutory change, which gave rise to Senate Bill 1209 that was signed into law by the governor September 28th of last year. So what you have before you is an amendment, a strike and replace, that would include the modern language consistent with the statutory change that would allow our LAFCO to continue to require indemnification for proposals when they are received. And I'm just here to answer any questions you may have, and also LAFCO counsel is available for questions.
First to the commission, any questions for Mr. Libby? Not seeing any. Any public comment? Not seeing any. All right. Seeking a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Baines, second by Commissioner Ziegemeier on item number 6. All those in favor of that motion to approve, to adopt a resolution, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any. Item number 6 passes unanimously. Going to item number 7, fiscal year 2024-25 mid-year budget review and a discussion of future municipal service reviews and sphere of influence updates. Mr. Libby.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So we talked about this at our last meeting, that we were going to have a mid-year budget review, and I think it's something we'll probably do at your January meeting every year. It's a good time to check in, see where LAFCO is in its expenditures for the year, which we've included as attachment 1. In short, we've been very conservative, haven't expended nearly the funds, but we are mid-budget year. We are anticipating the second half of the budget year to be a lot more active. We're going to be having the comprehensive fire MSR coming forward and reviewing that, so it's going to require more work. We're also anticipating at least 1, possibly 2 annexations being filed with the commission in the next several months. So, but the bigger part is I wanted this item to be a discussion as far as kind of next steps, because as you know, LAFCO adopts a preliminary budget in March and then it adopts a final budget for your next fiscal year in May. And so this is a real good time for us to kind of strategize and see how you may want to proceed. So we included attachment 2 to your staff report, and it lists all the agencies that are subject to LAFCO receiving a municipal service review and sphere of influence update. Now, as the statute says, these need to be prepared every 5 years and as necessary. So it could be sometimes longer, but it could also be shorter. We've traditionally held to that. I would say over the last 7-8 years, though, if you looked at this schedule, you will see that some of them date back to 2011. So basically, I wrote them the last time around when I handled LAFCO previously. So looking at the scope of services, we're doing, as you know, a comprehensive fire MSR. My suggestion is it's been quite some time that the city of Live Oak has had an MSR. In fact, the last time it was completed was February 23rd of 2012. And so I thought it was a good time to, because they have 9,700 residents in our community, to be able to check in and complete such a review. But this is really should be a dialogue and open to what the commission feels. So I'm open to your input, and then we would use that to feed that information into our upcoming budget. Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and open this back to the commission. Are any questions of Mr. Libby? We can start with Ms. Elphick.
On this Live Oak issue, since 2012, that update, have you got a proposal of, or an estimate of what that cost would be?
I do not, and I would be working to obtain that cost so I could put that information into the preliminary budget that we would bring forward to you in March.
Okay. When would that be available?
The preliminary budget?
No, the estimate of what the cost is for Live Oak to do a study on that.
I mean, I could at least start with our existing MSR consultant
Okay,
for that.
thank you.
Is that it? Commissioner Zigmeier. Commissioner Baines.
No questions at this time, thank you.
Cochran? No. Question. I have a couple questions. So this is a pretty big list, and I'll start with one question is, a lot of these, there's several CSAs and there's some fire districts. Are those not already going to be covered under the comprehensive fire MSR?
They are, and when that is adopted, then the dates will change and be updated.
Okay, so we wouldn't need to do CSA
Correct.
F or G, what have you. Okay.
Correct.
I guess what I would be interested in, and I agree with your looking at some of these dates, is there a way, do you have to do all these? Is it 5 years or as needed?
That's a great question. The statute says every 5 years, and there's that qualifier as needed, and every LAFCO kind of looks at it a little bit differently. To some of them adhere to that 5 years, but I would give you an example, and I'll use the city of Yuba City as one. So Yuba City had its MSR updated in 2020. So here we are in 2025. But if you look, a lot of the things that the MSR was done for, so the Bogue Stewart master plan hasn't even gotten off the ground yet. And so from that perspective, I would say, well, it might be okay to say as needed for Yuba City, and it might not be required this time around. But like I said, some of the other agencies, it's been quite some time.
So I was wondering, I mean, would it be too much to ask staff to maybe make a list and prioritize those that, it just seems to me that some of these, like you said, Live Oak seems like that would be a higher priority than, and I'm not trying to disparage any local government entity than some of the other maybe smaller districts. I think you're looking maybe for a plan so that you can plan for the budget. That's my assumption.
Yeah, I think, safety is also, always paramount at our, when we look at these things. And so when I look at this list and I see, well, reclamation districts haven't been done since 2011, most of them looks like, and levy districts haven't been done in 2011, 12. Those would also be some that would probably be more towards the top of my list, in addition to.
I guess then for me, would it, obviously you're looking to receive some direction from us, but would it be appropriate for us to ask you to prioritize this list and then for us to, recommend?
I could have
approval?
that for you at the next meeting.
I would appreciate that. I think you probably have more of a sense since you were probably the architect of most of these anyway.
I was.
Any comments or questions from the board, commission? Do we want?
I have a quick one.
Sure.
Through the chair. If it says 5 years or as needed, how do we have all of these from 2011, 2012? Was that considered to not be necessary? Or are we just pushing them off to the side?
Trying not to throw anyone under the bus. I would say that when I left LAFCO in about 2016, And so at that point, I reviewed with the incoming executive officer, here's where we're at on these things. And so from at that point, it would have been, his job to kind of take the flag and run with it from there. And you can see that there were MSRs done in 2017, 2018 for the CSAs, also Sutter CSD, as well as Yuba City. So, I mean, it's not like none of them were done. But as I said, we're a small LAFCO. There's a lot of agencies. And so I think, as the chair said, we should prioritize. And we can certainly put something together and bring that forward to you.
Through the chair, I just want to say I agree with that and your statement, and it should be prioritized. The safety issue on any of these MSRs, and if they need to be done, I think that is our responsibility if we know something needs to be done, because we're here to not just do the land and et cetera, but we are here to protect the whole community, and that becomes a responsibility we can't overlook. Thank you.
Any other comments? So the suggestion then, it sounds like we have an affirmative on the live oak for you to go ahead and get going on that one. I just want to make sure, Mr. Wooten, you're okay with that? Yes. Okay. Not that I'm disrespecting anybody else. And then come back with another list, or at our next meeting, come back with a list that you feel is the priority that we can
We'll certainly do
review
that.
and approve.
We can do that.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Got a lot of nodding heads. Do we need a vote or
Thank
not?
you. No,
Okay, good.
thank you.
All right. Item 8, Executive Officers Report. Mr. Libby.
So I've been providing updates every month for the comprehensive fire MSR and our consultant progress. And we've been making good progress. We've conducted all the agency interviews. We even conducted interviews last month with Bi-County Ambulance. You might remember that the work plan for this also involved creating an advisory committee that was made up of the fire chiefs. And so we had in the fall, the advisory committee meeting number 1. There was 3 set up. And then we're right now scheduling for the second committee meeting that hopefully will happen sometime this month. We're still gathering financial information from all the agencies. In fact, yesterday we just had a big data dump for the county CSAs to the consultant. And so I'm envisioning that probably by the end of February, first part of March, I'll actually receive a administrative draft. And I would then look at it, make some edits, and then we probably reconvene the advisory committee meeting. And for a third meeting to have them provide input before it even goes out for any type of public review. So I'm just happy to report we're on schedule.
Any questions from the commission for Mr. Libby? Seeing none, I will make a comment. I appreciate the updates. Thank you for getting those back to us, given what we had to deal with in the past. Okay. Reports from any of the commissioners. Elphick, any questions or comments? Anything for a future agenda? Okay. Commissioner Zingmeyer? Commissioner Baines?
Before you close, I'd like to make a report on Commissioner Munger. As most of you probably know, he had extensive heart surgery, and he is now home recuperating, and he is able to walk around the house to exercise. So he is coming along good.
Appreciate that. Did you have something? Okay.
Good, thank you.
Well, with that, then we're going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting and see you all at our next meeting, which is
March.
March. Thanks.